Everybody, so we are in good times. And yesterday we got the green fog, we got the colors working for fog, and that was a lot easier than expecting. I think that is sort of the what it's kind of expected when you. I guess since we have that, we don't need that default anymore. Like that's what they're kind of talking about when they talk about like, hey, there's let's see, what do we want to make fog the default color of fog? I think it should be. I don't know. I just don't even have any idea. Let's just make it like a gray color. So if everything's working as expected, this should reload. And if I go back to scenes and I come back here, yeah. So that's what we expect. So next, I think is probably just go with the easier of the density. I don't know, like if you can have densities greater than one. So let's go to our old buddy ChatGPT. So 3JS. Can the density of fog be greater than 3? What 3? 1? Question mark. Hit the button. Okay, so basically yeah, so I guess it's not like a draggable, like a drag item. It's more of a input box. So let's go see what we got. What we got going on. Let's see. I think we already. Oh, we don't have any input boxes yet. Oh yeah, we do. No, yeah, that's a drop down. But if a drop down works, then input box will work. So let's go down here. Here to density. I guess we're going to do a map form filled. I don't remember. I don't think since weren't setting up fog. I'm guessing we're not setting up density either. Yeah. So let's go ahead and add our density. I think it's fog density. Density tree. Boy, it's gonna be you. Now, I mean, like my, let's see, 0.1. I'm just gonna make that. I think I should make that the density, the default density of the actual item too. Wrong one. My videos that are long get way more likes. Like I don't get a lot of likes. Okay, so like I guess way more likes. Well, so technically from a math perspective, they get way more likes because I don't get a lot of likes, but they probably get like 3 or 4 times the likes as the short videos. Um, so I do, and then the ones that seem to get the most likes are the ones where I'm like debugging. Um, so I guess that's a thing. Okay, so I set it there, and then yeah, so the render and the scene are in before we do any of these. So I guess controls fog density. Seba again. Fog density. So I think that makes sense. And now I think over here, I need to say that in the subscription, so all this checks for is that, yeah, so I think if the scene exists, then someone is trying to call me. It's probably my son. It's about when we usually talk. I guess I might as well just go with this fog density. And then I guess we need to do the whole number checking thing. Probably should stay consistent with how I've done other number checking. So what do I usually do? Let's see, mesh manager component. Could have sworn in the subscription I force some of these things to numbers. Guess not. So it must be in the light management. Yeah, there we go. So basically, I guess I check to see if the whole thing exists at all, or if it's 0, because 0 will return a false. I think we've run into that little bug a bunch. Form value. It doesn't seem to like. Okay, so fog density, and then we're gonna say fog density. I think for some reason these are constantly turning into strings, even though, I don't really want them to be. I want them to be numbers, but so I think I have to kind of force it to a string. I think that's what this is all about. F density. And we're saying, hey, if it's actually a number, I think that should cover that. Now, over here, we need to add a form field, but it's got to probably be an input, not a. Apparently that copy didn't work. Fog density. And then the form control name is fog density. And then, and I don't want it to be, I want it to be a mat input, which I don't even know, like I probably haven't. For some reason, I'm missing the first part of my form filled. Guessing that goes before the label. Okay, that guy's happy now. And then I don't know if it's mat input. Just making this stuff up as I go. I don't have any errors. See if this works. Oh man, something went horribly wrong. Error. No accessor for form control, fog density. Let's see, let's just make sure that name is right. Pretty sure it's right. Fog density. Now I'm wondering if that is a really weird, if the problem is that I'm not importing like the mat input. I think that's pretty bad. But let's just do this. We'll start with, so that name is correct, right? Yeah, see, that looked good to me. I think it should break even right out of the gate. Oh, because it doesn't exist until I select this. Yeah, so. Have form field control. Okay, so yeah, that was probably the wrong input. So let's go ahead and Angular material. Probably could have asked ChatGPT, but I think we are on components, right? That's what this is. And then this is autocomplete. That one always tricks me because I'm looking for input and it looks just like an autocomplete input. Mat input. Did I do that right? Nope. Nope. So we want to do an input, mat input, and get rid of this. He gone. Still no luck. Mat form field must contain a mat form field control. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at API and look what looks like I need to import this. Actually, that's going to provoke my parrot. She loves it when we whistle together. I think her favorite song is, I don't know what the name of it is, but it has tequila in it. She likes to go. That'll always get her dancing. Let's see. It's kind of wild that we don't get a compile error. So it looks like that is in fact working. So we do have fog right now with a density of 0.1. The, sometimes she likes to be kind of snooty. Okay, so right now we have fog. We have density of 0.1, and we are 5 away from it. 5 units away from it because the camera is sitting on the 5 index. So let's see. Oh no. 3. I feel like, oh, because it's gray. There we go. Let's see, 0.3. So 0.3 is not doing anything different. 0.1, 0.01. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make it animated. Well, let's make it go farther away. Well, it's red, right? So the farther away, the more, not the less. So let's make it closer to us. 4. That's not 4. That's 5. Well, it is a little less red. 3. Yeah, now it's very, very red. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like anything is happening. Do I have anything useful in here? Let's see, Fox 6 3JS service. Setup scene. Oh, am I not? No, I must be. Oh, apparently I'm not even setting it. Well, no, I was right here. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so that isn't actually changing anything. So weren't actually changing the, yeah, so 0.01 isn't doing anything, isn't hardly changing anything. The problem is that this update isn't getting called. So that is probably in the subscription. So let's go ahead and call update scene. And then we will add a mesh. We'll add some fog. Oh, that's wrong. And it seems to have broken something. I never did check when well, I mean, something seems to be really jacked up. Like, crashed the whole darn browser. Let's see. Pull the new one in. Close 4200. Let's go to the scene and just try to change the background color. Man. We are getting into some kind of, looks like some sort of infinite loop or something in there. Although I'm surprised I didn't see that like little warning that says you're about to break something. So can I can add a mesh. Can I turn fog on? Is it frozen? Yeah, it's frozen. Something is really, really broken. Let's try this again. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're in some kind of infinite loop. So it looks like basically, like if I hit this, yeah, see, I'm just right back. So basically something is, Oh, let's just hit reload. Let's see if we can add a new. So something has caused this up when we added this update scene that caused, I guess, the fog density to change. And then I'm guessing when it came back through, I don't know, the value. So this is probably where I should have. Let's see, Control I. Now we'll just come in here. It doesn't even matter what we change. Yeah, see, we get updating the fog to null. So that doesn't seem like a good thing. Does not seem like what we'd want. So it says it's updating the fog to null. So that really shouldn't happen. Now, why we keep coming back in here is weird. Oh no, okay, so that's fine. So the scene fog is equal to null. It's funny though that it didn't break until we changed that. So the scene fog is supposed to be null, and I have it tied to none. But I'm trying to set it to null, and then I have code, I think, that is then setting. Well, I don't know. It wasn't a problem till I started doing this. So let's go back there and say updating scene. Very curious. Let's see. Okay, setting the scene fog to null, and that's fine. And then we come over here, we change something. Now, scene manager is the one I want to go into. Now, let's just see. Okay, our fog density. Okay, F density is undefined. Form value is 0.1. Form value fog density is undefined. You crazy. So let's go here. We're back, baby. Okay, so that, and see, that's a number. That's what's so weird about this. Okay, so then since it's a number, this parse float is breaking. And then what I think is going to happen though is that, okay, so what I think is going to happen is the minute I type in there, it's going to turn into, the form value is going to turn into a string. But I do not know that for a fact. So let's go check. So let's get rid of this update scene function. Let's see if I can reload. Now, what I want to do is update the scene with just about anything. Let me turn this on, and turn this guy into a exponential. Oh, that's still a number. Oh, and it's because this is undefined. So let's see. I wonder if it locks up. It's kind of crazy that it doesn't. 2. Now let's see what we get. Oh, it's happy now. 5. See, now it's a string. Once you actually interact with it, it becomes a string. But so I guess all of this should. I guess I need to wrap all of this with a check to see if it's not a number, and only do that if it's not a number. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that code. I don't know if that's the best route. Okay. And let's see if it even, like, if it complains. Okay, so I'm saying if it's something there. Okay, so I think that's fine. And then I'm just going to say if and what I believe you say like this type of. It was so hard for me for the longest time to remember that, because this is so different than the way you do that is so different than anything else in JavaScript, where you say you do the operator and then a space. I think. So I'm saying if it's a string and then I believe it's equal to number. And then I'm just going to say all right, so let's think through this. Okay, so I'm saying that if it's a number, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it, yeah, so I think that's okay. I'm having a hard time because I'm like trying to think, am I just going to be flip-flopping it back from a string to a number but I don't think I will. I think, and then I guess we want to, do this either way. Oh, I guess. No, we really only want to update the scene if it's different, right? think we only want to do any of this if they're different. So I like to put this on a new line, and I don't know about this, but these two need to, if it's this and this dot form dot fog density. It's kind of weird. It's just so much more difficult to do this than it was. I guess we'll never get here. It doesn't exist, but then just dealing with the straight form values. But I guess if we're looking for validations and stuff like that, that's where the forms, Angular forms, really comes in handy. Is not. Well, I don't even know. Because I don't know, let's see what we get here when I do this. See if we get anything crazy. See if we can change the background color without everything going crazy. Crazy. All right, exponential. And 2, 3. And then add mesh. So we have an supposedly have an exponential with a 3. Let's go with 1. 2. I don't know. Oh, do we? Oh, we're not updating. Let's look to see if that console log is firing like crazy. No, okay. Yeah, we don't ever update the scene. Let's just copy this. Okay, so just make sure everything works still. No, now everything went haywire again. And I think, I don't know why really, control, but we're about to find out why. So we can do this. No, everything went haywire already. And it's not this one we want. We want toolbox, scene manager, scene, and then okay. So the problem is that it's trying to set the scene fog density to 0.1. Yeah, and that's all fine, but okay, why is it getting in here, I guess is the question. See, okay, so I guess what's happening is, okay, so that's 0.1, 0.1. So we come in here and then we get up to here, right? We get here, we set the fog density to 0.1, which is what it already was. And then we say, I guess we should only Yeah, and that's what I was saying before, is we should only update it if it's changed. Let's reload. Okay. I don't know, we're gonna have to take a closer look at this code when things get, once the dust settles, and see if there's a better way to do this. See, the problem is, so the problem is I think it's always going to be this way because of, yeah, so I think that makes sense in this context, in the context that it hasn't been changed by the user. But in this context, it doesn't make sense. But I don't want to have that twice. So I think the better way to do this is like this. Is not equal to F density. Man, it's crazy how often I put that R there. And then I think what we want to do is, instead of declaring, we'll change this to a let. So we'll say let F density equal to 0. Just default it to 0. And then oh, it's kind of a bummer. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this thing the value. I do not know if this is the best way to do it. I'm just sort of out of gas at the moment. So, and then over here, I'm just going to say F density is, if it was a number, then F density is equal to that. So basically, if it's not a number, we go and try to figure it out in other ways. And then we're saying other F density is equal to this. And then the thing that's kind of hard on this is now we're going to say if the scene fog density is something different. But like if they had put like some gibberish in there, like if they were putting a negative number or something, this could get weird. But it would be set to 0. It would end up getting set to 0, which I think is fine if they had a negative number. So let's try that. First things first, make sure we can still do this. Okay, we can still do that. Now, XP, point 43. Oh no, it won't change. All right, so why? Why won't you change? Let's see, so is it going crazy in there? No, it's not. Scene manager. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on here. Okay, so F density is equal to 0. But what is the form value? Is equal to 0.12. Okay, so that's fine. That should work. Boom, 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 boom. F density is 0.12. F density. Oh, F density is equal to F density. Not F density num. All right. Just a good old-fashioned human bug. All right. Let's see if that fixes everything. So I was assigning it to itself, which that definitely is not going to do the trick. So x2. No, still. Really, this is the guy I care about. Okay, just add a 5. 0.15, that looks good, that looks good. F density is 0. So F density becomes 0.15. We're saying if F density is not, oh my gosh, we never do update the scene. You crazy. You cray cray. All right. So that makes sense. Actually, that makes so much sense. So basically, I just update it right back to what it was. This dot scene dot fog density is equal to F density. And we'll run it back. Does that work? Yeah. Boom. 2 and 4. So that seems reasonable. Add mesh. Seems reasonable. Let's see. 0.04. Yay. 07. 0.1. 0.2. 0.3. It's getting foggy. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's how that works. This was a long video, 43 minutes. That's kind of a bummer. But yeah, so I don't know about all of this. It sure does seem like a lot of overhead, just because we're dealing with sometimes the form is a number, sometimes it's a letter. I guess a lot of that code could go away if like if I set this value to a string, you know, like if I stringified it, like I think I can just say toString. And I believe then, you know, it would always be a number, always be a string. And then I guess we could just get rid of any of this code here. I mean, which isn't a lot, but it's still, I think it does simplify things. I think that would work. Let's see, save. I don't think we need to actually see this stuff. Just see if it. Yeah, so it's always a string. Let's just make sure we got nothing weird in the, yeah, we don't have anything running over and over again. So I think that is probably a smarter move, just to like force it to be a string from the beginning. And then if we know it's going to be a string, then I guess we don't need this. We don't have to ever worry about it being a 0, because even if it was a 0, it would be a string 0, which would not come back as falsy. Then I guess we don't even really need, I guess, do we need this stuff? F density string, F density number, so that we can do this comparison. Yeah, I guess we do need that, because we needed to sort of go beyond this. So basically we're saying, actually we know it's a string, so we don't even need to do this. I mean, well, we might need to, I don't know, convince it. Okay, so yeah, now this can go. Just make sure that works. And then come back down here, x2. Yeah, so that's better. So it's const. And we just make sure that whatever we've gotten in here, and I guess that would end up, yeah, so that gets forced to a 0, which is good. But I wonder 0.3, yeah, so that's good too. I don't know why it lets us do that. That's interesting to me. It does let me do that. That was weird. It forced it to a 0 before. 0.4. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that, but I think that's okay. I mean, I don't think it's going to break anything. It is weird that like that doesn't get turned into a 0, but because I don't think, it seems like after this, let's see, this effect comes in and the form control, see, it seems like that should end up setting it back to 0. But anyways, yeah, so that's that. Tomorrow we'll go ahead and change this. We'll get the near and far working. I guess I should just double check that this does seem to still work. I mean, we did it. I guess you can't really. What happens if, oh, it's white there. Black. And then what if we make it a 1? Yeah, it's gone. 0.1. What happens to A? It just leaves it wherever it was at. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense, because it's if form value density, if, yeah, you would have thought F density would have gone to 0. Oh, I guess it is 0. Let's see, what is, yeah, it's basically 0. So it's like 0.6. Make it red. And 0.16 is barely. 0.16, and then an A. So it just stayed whatever it was at before. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's fine. I think that's okay behavior. Um, it doesn't change. I don't really understand why. Oh, because it didn't change. Well, it should have changed to 0 though. You would have thought. Let's see. Let's see if it's easy. 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 Um, so what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so if I change this to an A, yeah, so we never get in there. A. I'm just so curious why this is not. Oh, and that's okay. So if it's not NAND, then F density, fog density is 1. F density is 0. Oh, that is very interesting. So, so when it figures out that this is a, okay, so when it parse floats this thing, it's weird. I would have thought that that would come back as not a number. Yeah. Yeah, that's really weird. That is so interesting. So yeah, so that is a quirk in JavaScript. I mean, I feel like that's as good as any other result. I mean, that's as good as 0. If it had returned to 0 and then reset everything, um, and I do think that it would be easy to add uh, with since it's using reactive forms, I could add some regex in there to get rid of anything that wasn't a number that got entered. Um, I'm not worried about that now. At some point, I would imagine I'll do a. This is that's definitely sort of an example of a tech debt without interest, um, and it might even be negative interest because I might come up with like a general solution, or I may just not be using these forms at all in the future, and so coming up with a solution for that when the way it works is fine. Um, is as good as any other thing. I could definitely do something to like, so when the user typed in A, it just got rid of the A and went back to that. So like there's events like before the keys up and or on key down, because like on key down it's not, I believe, yeah, you know let's see. See, I believe that value is not changed until the key is up. So, like I could just get rid of any non letters in there. That would be fine. And that would be better, but it's not really like I don't think it's worth doing at this point, because, like I said, it would be sort of a, like if I come up with a general solution, or if I come up with a general input, or something like that, some in the future, this would just be one weird bit of weirdness that I have to deal with in the future. It might be end up being a pain in the butt. It might not, but there's really no. I don't see any value to addressing this issue now. Um, but I do think that this two rows probably I should deal with now. Um, I think I'm just going to change that to fog density. Fog density. I think it's pretty obvious that fog density would go up if the number's higher, and down if the number's lower. Anyways, that's a very, very long video. I guess a lot of it has to do with just the fact that my wife is out of town, so I'm just a bachelor at the moment for the next few days. And yeah, I got nothing really dragging me out of here. So there's nothing outside of being with my family and kind of hanging out with my dogs, there's nothing I'd rather do than code. So that's what I'm doing. Anyways, happy coding, everybody, and bye.